Setting up an automation program for the enterprise requires a thorough understanding of not only the platforms that you're going to be using for automation and the challenges that are unique to RPA, but also expertise with infrastructure and DevOps. We believe that a Center of Excellence should build in delivery capability right from the beginning and should be responsible for delivering automations that provide business value to the business. The Center of Excellence provide various services within the organization, everything from demand generation to process analysis, automation development, some people also call it configuration, and ongoing maintenance and support of the automation. In order to provide these services efficiently, a RPA COE needs to establish three verticals, namely DevOps, infrastructure, and an operations management vertical. There's governance and business continuity and disaster recovery that goes horizontally across these verticals. Our clients are seasoned enterprise professionals. They have experience setting up Center of Excellence in other parts of the organization for other capabilities. They know what their company culture is, what works and what does not work within the enterprise. Where they need most assistance is defining and implementing process automation specific procedures and tool sets that are specific to their organization. Most organizations have defined standards, tool sets, and methodologies for various DevOps functions such as collaboration, source code control, project and change management. Sometimes it's a matter of identifying the right tool within the organization, the platform for that function, and sometimes the requirements call for implementing new platforms to manage RPA projects. So infrastructure and technical setup is another area where enterprises struggle. Initial implementations of especially RPA platforms seem very simple. You set up a web server and a SQL server backend, and you instantiate some VDIs, and you're up and running for your pilot program. But scaling this for the enterprise is a whole different ballgame. All the adoption of the automation increases within the enterprise, so does the dependency of the organization on bots. This requires the implementation of a well thought out, scalable, highly available environment that's segregated to address any of the enterprise security concerns that there may be, or compliance mandated data access segregation requirements. You may also require buy-in from other organizations within the enterprise, specifically the audit organization or the IT infrastructure organization for standard builds or guidelines for bot ID provisioning and things like that. You will require some coordination with the compliance and audit divisions to address data retention and audit requirements that must be ensured so that logs are kept and are reproducible on the request of the auditor. Operations management is the third vertical where we see organizations struggle. Most COEs are run within the technology organization, and they tend to set up the support organization very similar to an application development and production support organization. The digital workforce demands a somewhat different model. This model requires different skill sets for being able to address technical system issues versus business exceptions. Business operation teams are very closely involved in this operation center. Ideally, the digital workers and the humans should report up to the same manager. This means scheduling, business exceptions management should be done by a business operations staff. Thinking through this model and establishing a delineation between IT and business responsibilities becomes very critical. Governance runs across DevOps, infrastructure, and operations center. You need to manage and establish procedures on how you will manage automation demand across the enterprise, provide central design and best practice governance and oversight, establish change control procedures. Lastly, business continuity and disaster recovery is also very critical. This requires close coordination with infrastructure teams as well as routine drills that you may need to execute to test the setup of the infrastructure for business continuity. Standard procedures will need to be defined with specific roles and responsibilities assigned. All of this can be very daunting for our customers. Our customers have done their research. They know that this is an involved process. They look to providers like us to guide them through the implementation. We're very pragmatic with our approach. We provide a roadmap to our clients that gets them to a mature stage gradually while allowing them to incorporate some of the lessons learned from initial implementations into their final operating model and center of excellence.